Percussive strumming. The acoustic guitar, after all, is actually a percussive instrument. We have no amplifier on this thing. We have a hole in a block of wood that reverberates and vibrates and makes a really cool sound. So let's take advantage of that. And the main thing that we're going to be looking at in this lesson is this tapping sound. And this always occurs on beats 2 and 4. It can occur in other places, like possibly in some songs somewhere, of course, but more commonly 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, it's always on the 2 and 4, and it's on the 2 and 4 because that's where the snare would fall, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that snare is that sort of clap or tap sound, or the big part of a rock drum sound, really. And we really get that sound by tapping the strings onto the frets higher up the fretboard here. That is how we get that percussive tap. There can be a hint of a little strumming there as well, but the main thing that we want to focus on to learn this skill and be able to do it in real songs is to get this tapping sound. You can still hold your pick as you normally would, have your hand in a bit more of a fist as you may, but it's not a tight fist, it's loose, like this, and then we just drop the palm of our hand onto the strings like this. This will always mute the sound, so if you had a chord ringing out, it will always mute it, but that's fine. And what we're going to do first of all is just get that going on a C chord. C major chord. We'll cover, you can do the same thing with bar chords. The bar chords give you a lot of extra percussive options because we can mute with this hand as well. But really what we're going to be looking at doing is this. And we're going to be looking at getting my guitar in tune as well. Let's try that again. That's what's happening really. We need a down, up. So this is to a swing groove, by the way. So we're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The ands are a little bit later. So we get this little nice bounce, very Jack Johnson style. This sort of thing's used in banana pancakes and that kind of thing. Down, up, and then drop your hand onto the strings, but make sure you are getting this tap against the frets here, and you'll get that sweeter, louder tapping sound. Now you can drop more of the outside of your palm if you wish. You can do a little strum as well to accentuate, so a hit down and then a strum also. But the first point of call, make sure you can get that sound. Down, up, mute. And then just add one more up strum at the end there. And just loop it. So this is still just on a C chord. And 2 and 3 and 4. It's really great to know that this tap is happening on beats 2 and 4, but don't try and do this and count. Try and just feel the rhythm, feel the groove, recreate what I'm creating here. Recreate what I'm playing as much as you can, and then try and go with it rather than trying to do this from counting. You need to feel the rhythm. Music, this is something that needs to be internal, like your heartbeat. That right hand needs to be solid, and that's what we're working on there. A suggested chord sequence for this that's really cool is C major, A minor, D minor, and G major. And if we stayed on each one of those chords for a bar, we would get this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed a little trick that I was doing there. I've mentioned this before if you watch a lot of my videos, where on that last up, before we change chord, we can lift off our fingers. You don't have to have them down. This gives you loads of time to change now. Loads, you've got almost a whole beat. I think you've even got over a beat. Let's have a think. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We can lift our fingers off. Now to change to the A minor, we really want to keep that first finger down at least, and just scooch the middle one over, fit the third one underneath. Now it does mean that we're going to get this sound, but in context, if anything, it sounds even better. It gives us that little movement between the chords that sounds really cool. So in total we're wanting a nice little relaxing chord sequence, used often in jazz actually, but this is played in a Jack Johnson style really. If we do that same thing with bar chords, we can do a lot more with it. Let's go for the C major chord shape, barring at 3rd fret and using fingers 2, 3 and 4 as an A-shaped bar chord. This will be our C chord, this is our A minor chord, D minor, this is at 5th fret, and then 3rd fret is our G chord. So we have C, A minor, D minor, G major, same as before, just different voicings, different ways to play the same chord. That was my little chord song, hope you liked it. So what can we do from here? We can relax your fingers while we're on the frets, and therefore we can get some really cool rhythmic chickas, basically. These are called chicka 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 chicka. So in between each chord you could go, let's have a think, what can we do? For any of you new to bar chords, this means that you have, again, ample time to change chord, but there are other things going on, basically the strumming, and we're muting as we change chord. We're actually keeping our fingers on the strings. Just so you can really tell what I'm doing, I'm going to put my fingers like this when I'm not playing the chord, but I am going to keep strumming. So that would look like down, up, 2 and 3 and 4, A minor at 5th fret, D minor, that gives you plenty of time to change chord, sounds even more rhythmical rather than just, say, keeping it the same for a whole song. That in some ways is easier, but in many ways, if you were doing that for a full song, your fingers are clamping the entire time and you can really start to get cramp in your hands. So using this percussive idea, you're actually relaxing your hand and only squeezing for a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D minor. So there's a few percussive ideas that you can check out. There's more of that in my Improve a Guitar course. Let me know any lesson requests in the comments, any more percussive ideas, fingerstyle, all that kind of thing. Let me know and I'll shoot it for you. Thank you very much. I'll see you in another video.